video, a travel log on the watches that I travel here with to Malaysia. These are the watches that travel with me. Couple of Rolexes and Tudor, and these are some of my favorite watches in my collection itself. So naturally, when I travel, I bring them along. Particularly the Hawk and the Pelagos. These are very hardy watches per se. So what do why do I carry so many watches when I travel? Yeah, well, it's because maybe I'm just a watch nut, so these are just, to pair up with different things that I do, the trips I do. Now, when I travel here, I actually travel, take the plane and all that. I actually I put on my Tudor chronograph still. So this is a nifty watch because it helps me, it look good on, especially on this leather, strap that I put it on. It looks fantastic, and we had a little bit of a flight delay for our way here, as usual, budget airlines and all that. And what happened is that I actually used this watch to actually time the time when we have finished boarding, and the time when we actually get on airborne. So it takes almost 45 minutes, using this little nifty chronograph to actually kind of time the entire the entire flight itself. And after that, I actually use this chronograph to time my train ride to the from the airport to the hotel. As you can see, this is a beautiful piece. The only thing that I don't like about this watch is I love the snowflakes hands, the snowflakes hour hand. But as you can see, if the hour hand is actually in the 3 o'clock position, what happens is that they actually blocks off the chronograph functions. So it's not the best design in terms of a working chronograph, but you can't deny that it's a gorgeous looking watch, especially on the leather strap. It will stay on the leather for a long time. I think this combination actually works very well. As a result, I actually went ahead and ordered a couple of more of these leather straps to go with this watch. So that's chronograph. During the workout itself, when I was actually working out, I brought a couple of watches to the gym. During the workout itself, I actually used the Seiko to actually time my bouts, my rounds with the sandbag, and it is very nifty because it's a hardy watch, and it got a great bezel, easy to turn, and it's much more better than the my Omega Seamaster 300 professional's bezel. It turns very easily, as you can see, even with gloves on. The rattling sound is really fantastic. It's a hardy watch. I take this with me a lot, especially when I go to gym. So it's a mini monster with a shroud to actually protect it from. I have this on a a Zulu strap. So this is actually very useful when sweat and all that. It doesn't really get affected with this strap. This is my tough little Seiko that I carry with me. Most of my travels I actually I'll take this watch with me, because it's so handy. The next watch that I have in my my daily, and in fact one of my favorite everyday wear watch is this Pelagos LHD. It's one of my favorite watch to have to be with me. It's beautiful watch, titanium, light as hell. Although for its size, it's even lighter than my Submariner. Amazing, which is it has a fantastic. I love the reason why I love this watch is because of the adjustable clasp system that they have with the Pelagos. As you can see, you can actually you know, create a little bit of a micro adjustment, you know, through this three levels. One, and lift it slightly, and you got 2, and then 3. So it locks into place after you have set it down. You can't move it anywhere. All right. And the wonderful thing about this is that you can actually see from here. You know, there's actually a little spring here that actually allows you to actually extend or contract the watch. This is one of my favorite watch to have to be on my wrist. In fact, it's spending a lot of wrist time on my wrist. It has some scratches, as you can see on the bracelet, very micro one. Even though I've been wearing this like crazy, I swam with this in the pool. You know, I use this in the pool as together with the Submariner. You know, and it's just an all-round sturdy watch. You know, to have. Next up is my Submariner. This is one of my favorite watch. This watch is usually with me when I travel because it is so versatile. I mean, it's great as a tool watch. You can swim with this. You can bring this around, and it's just great to have this. It's a great looking watch, fantastic looking watch. It always draws attention with the sunburst dial, and also the green bezel. It's just fantastic. The movement is the sweeping hands, and it's just all around fantastic watch. One of my favorite watch to have for me. I swim with this, and I actually went to the pool with this. Got some scratches here already. Smart, yeah, some scratches. Yeah, so I don't mind a little bit of scratches. So it's what brings the watch. Give the watch a little bit of character, but not too much. So this is actually one of my favorite watch, and this, if you actually use a Rolex bezel, you can just tell that is fantastic. I mean, the ratcheting on this bezel itself, none of my watch actually comes close to this. None. Listen to that. It's just so sweet, the sound. Perfection. Yeah, so this is one of my favorite watch to be with me on the trip itself. In this trip to Malaysia, I actually went to a couple of places to kind of spot Rolexes, as well as to look at other watches, and it's quite an interesting experience. Rolexes, of course, there's no stocks, but in Malaysia, in a place called Bukit Bintang, it's actually quite interesting. And this, I actually have a video for this, and there is actually a place where you can, a building where next to Pavilion Shopping Mall, where you actually have a whole floor of watches, just horology, jiggle shops. So you got Richard Milles, you got Audemars Piguet, you got Rolexes, just concentrated luxuries section in that area. So if you got a chance to come to KL, don't miss out in checking that out. And in fact, if you walk just across the street from that building itself, you will be able to see quite a selection in Pavilion itself. Pavilion itself has a lot of shops as well. Now, this is one also my recent purchase, recent acquisition, and this I've been waiting for this watch for a long time. The Batman. and beginning to love this watch. The only thing that I get really worried about is the center link, polished link with this watch. Yeah, it's you can see that even with 2 weeks, it has acquired some scratches. Compared with my Submariner, it takes me months to actually kind of get the scratches on that thing. So it is what it is, you know. But I just want to keep it as crisp, you know, as possible for as long as I can. Yeah, but it doesn't mean I baby this watch. I will actually bring this watch around and wear it and use it as much as I can. And in fact, I bring this watch to have bak kut teh in KL, which is a kind of a pork ribs, you know, breakfast fare. But it's a beautiful watch, as you can see, you know. And the GMT function is actually you know, very handy. I have it set on the Singapore time, and you know, and this actually helps me to actually track whenever I travel. If let's say I travel out of time zone, but Malaysia is the same time zone as Singapore, so that's not a worry. So that's a very short video, you know, that I want to actually share with you guys on my trip here. Oh yes, when I travel, what do I carry? How do I carry my watches? I don't like them to be banging around in a suitcase and all that. So usually what I have, that the watches that I'm not wearing, I'll have them in a shell like this. It's called a shop case. Now, I'm not being paid for anything or not endorsing this, but this is a fantastic case. As you can see, there's you know, there's cushioning inside the case itself, and you have actually a center link that actually keeps your watch neat and tidy. So what you do is that you actually kind of just put it all together, you know, close the clasp if you like, because what happens if you throw it in a roll or something, you can actually scratch out the back. So what you do is that you keep it into the case with a little divider here, and when you close it, it's secure as anything else. Nothing's going to get to scratch this watch, you know. So you can bang it around and throw in your carry-on, and it is safe as anything else. So I have a bunch of this case lying around. So all my watches have is in this case itself. And also the one that I'm wearing, what I have is that that's one experience that I have during the airport security, when they actually asked me to take off my watch and to put it into the you know, the tray that they put through the scanners, the X-ray machine. And when I took it off and put it in there, adjusting the items in the tray, the security person just stick my watch and tossed it at one end, which, you know, I didn't want it to happen again. So what I'll do is that when I get into the security, I'll put my watch, the one that I'm wearing, into one of this case as well. So I'm carrying you know, five of these watches. I will usually have 4 cases. In this case, because the NATO itself, you know, you can actually have a little carry pouch like that, and you can just throw it in here, and it will be perfectly all right. Okay, it's not going to scratch up or anything like that, you know. So this is another way I carry my NATO, the watch with the NATO strap on. So I'll have you know, 4 case, and I'll put all this into the case whenever I go through security, because yeah, those security guys sometimes can be you know, it can be quite irritating when they kind of knock around your watches. So yeah, so that's it, my little trip to Malaysia, and check it out. I mean, Malaysia is pretty cool. The food is sick. I actually have bak kut teh, you know, it's basically a Chinese soup, pork rib soup kind of flavor, with preparation, herb and all that stuff. Is just fantastic. So if you get chance to come over to Malaysia, have bak kut teh, you know, have satays and all the other Malaysian fares. It is fantastic. Yeah. So in the meantime, hope you guys have fun, and that's it. Peace out.